Hello students, Mr. Laver here, and in today's video what we're going to be doing is we're going to open up paint, and we're going to paint a nice simple house which will look pretty good at the end of it. So let's get ourselves started. We'll click down on the flag key or the flag button and we'll start typing paint, P-A-I-N-T, push our enter key and it opens up. Okay, now we want to maximize it so that I take up all my screen, and I've got a little piece of canvas here, so what I'm going to do is go down into this bottom right hand corner and drag it right down the bottom so that it takes up all the space that I've got. And if you have got scroll bars appearing down there, you might want to just make sure that it's not taking up too much space on your screen, because you want to be able to see the entire bit of canvas. Now I'll show you what I mean. So if I drag it down past there, so now I've got scroll bars, and that could cause some problems later on. So just go right down to the bottom corner there and bring it back up until your scroll bars disappear, and that's about the best. That's about where you want it. Okay, so right. So what we need to do is make sure that we've got a nice black colour there on colour 1, and then we'll just grab a rectangle from our shapes, and we're going to make a rectangle about that sort of size, and then about there, around about there on our picture. Okay, on our canvas. Right, now the size, I think the third one down is a good size, so we'll leave it on that for the moment. And then we're going to have another rectangle right off the side of this, and down to the same level, a little bit smaller, just like that. And we'll move that over a little bit. I'm using my arrow keys. You see when it's still selected, you've got those lines around it. You can move it with your arrow keys. So I'm just moving it over into the right place, and also making sure that it's level down the bottom, because that's what I want. Okay, so that's looking good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a third rectangle, and this one is going to go right off the bottom of the canvas, and yep, about there. Now I want to make sure that that part there and that part there are pretty much the same, so it's right in the middle, and you'll see why that is later on. Okay, now we're going to make another rectangle, and this one's going to sit inside here, and it's going to go down. It's not quite as big as this rectangle at the bottom, but when it's still selected, I want you to go up to the size, and we're going to make it slightly smaller. Okay, slightly smaller in the width of the outline. Okay, so that's looking good. And then we're going to have another one over here, and this is actually going to be a doorway. So we'll put that there, and then we're going to have another window about like that. And I think we might even have another window up here. Okay, that's looking good. Right, so now what we'll go and do is we'll go back up to our shapes, and we're going to get this triangle here. Now you've got two triangles, you've got this one here and this one here. We definitely want this one here. Okay, so we're going to start off the side of the house there, and this is going to be our roof, and make sure that we've got about the right amount of slope on the roof, and this is even on this side and this side, and with the arrow keys we can bring it down till it's about the right height. And then we need another roof on our garage. Now this one doesn't have any overhang. Did you know that? That a garage roof doesn't overhang like that. It comes right to the edge. So there is no eaves on a garage. Not all garages, but a lot of the newer ones are like that. Okay, so there we go. We've got a roof there. I think that's starting to look pretty good. So now we'll go and we'll get a line. And this time I'm going to make it the thinnest one. I'm going to find the middle of this square here. Oops, something's gone wrong. Okay, so we're going to drag it down like this. Now, in order to get a line to go vertically down, what you can do is hold the shift key down. You watch when I hold the shift key down, you see how it snaps in a vertical line like that? So that's, I know it's completely vertical because I'm holding the shift key down. And then you can do the same to go completely horizontal. You see, I can bring my mouse right down here and the line is still horizontal. And I'll just use my arrow keys to get it into place while it's still selected. And then we'll do the same up here. So we've got a line there, holding the shift key down, and a line there. And that's going to look pretty good. Use my arrow keys to get it in place. And we need some arrows on these, some lines on the garage door here. Try to get them evenly spaced. This is going to be a roller door for the garage. There we go. And also some for our roof. That's not very well evenly spaced. Okay, and some for this roof. There we go. Now we need a horizon line, and we've actually made a mistake here, because you should always, if you're doing a painting, always start from the back and work your way forward. But we'll be able to cope with this alright. I'm just going to make the horizon line a little bit thicker, and wants to be an horizon line wants to be at eye level. So if this is a doorway here, then our eyes would be at about this height. So your horizon line should be at about there, and make sure that you go right to the edge of your painting, because you don't want a hole in the edge. You'll find out if you make the mistake why. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. We're going to start colouring it in shortly, but first of all, let's put some clouds in the sky. So now these are speech bubbles, but they're going to make pretty good clouds. So and you know what, just to make these look a little bit different, what we can do is we can flip this over a little bit. So I'll go rotate, and I'll flip that horizontal, and it'll be just a little bit different. Okay, so now we need the eraser just to take out a little bit of this part that's not quite right. And if you make a mistake, like I've made a mistake there, you need to make sure that you don't break this line. So if you make a mistake, what you can do is you can go Control Z, and you can see down there that I've used Control Z. I'm actually going to have to do it again. Something's not right. Okay, so we're back to here anyway. So just erasing this out, but making sure that we don't break that line. And we'll do that on both sides. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Right, we need one more thing in our picture, and that is going to be a nice round sun, which I'm going to put over in this space over here. Now, once again, we can hold down our shift key, and that means that we're going to end up with a perfectly round circle. And I'll put it quite high in the sky. So there we go. Now we're all ready to colour in. So let's start. We'll have a nice blue sky at the back, and we're going to use our paint bucket here. We click there, and that's looking good. Let's have a yellow sun. We'll have some green, nice green grass over there and over there. Now we'll have a grey pathway or driveway, and let's have a purple garage door. I think the roof needs to be more that colour. Oops, made a mistake. Control Z. There we go. And we'll do the colour of the roof for the house the same colour. And we need the door, that could be the same colour too. And we need the colour of the actual house itself. That looks a good colour. We'll do the same with the garage. And I think that's it. We could maybe use this grey for these windows. And there we go. That's our house. So what I want you guys to do is to have a painting similar to what I've got. Try to keep it as good as you can with your quality. And then we go up here, we'll just click on this icon here, and that's going to save it. Make sure you save it into your documents, and we'll call this Easy Home Painting. Make sure that it's save as type a PNG, and then we'll go save, and I want you guys to hand that in. Thank you. We'll see you guys in the next video.